Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Cherise Cramaray once said, and I quote, "Feminism is the radical notion that women are human beings." It is often remarked that the principal moral question of the 21st century is that of achieving gender equality in its true sense. Hence the theme for International Women's Day 2020, Samatva, an equal world is an enabled world. International Women's Day has a legacy of well over a century, with the first IWD gathering dating back to 1911. This day celebrates the social, political, and economic achievements of women in various spheres of life and brings to fore the critical role played by women in the advancement of our society. The COVID-19 pandemic has greatly hindered the pace of our daily lives. This year's International Women's Day celebrations at Vssc and IISU, albeit delayed, have not been without fervor. We celebrated the multifaceted personalities of the women of our center through various competitions held on digital platforms. And we will be honoring their talents in today's valedictory function. Let us begin this program by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. I call upon Ms. Madhvi to render the invocation.
हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे, दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम पे इतना कर्म कर, साथ दे तो धर्म का, चले तो धर्म कर, झूठ से बचे रहे, किसी से ना डरे, दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना।
Thank you, ma'am. One of the foremost indicators of gender equality is women's participation in the workforce. Here at Vssc and IISU, women comprise 21% of the workforce. And this women workforce touches new milestones every day in achieving the objectives of the organization and the nation. It also plays an instrumental role in creating a more fairer and more equal society. Let us now have a look at the contributions of the women of Vssc and IISU.
I'm really happy to be part of Samatva 2020, the International Women's Day celebration of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. The number of women employees in our organization has been significantly higher compared to many other organizations, and they are taking up positions of very importance and significance in administrative areas, technical areas, and also at leadership positions. I am very happy that the Women's Day celebration in Vikram Sarabhai Space Center has been happening on a regular basis with very active participation, not only from lady employees, but also from men in equal hands. We recognize the importance of women on the special role they play with regard to bringing up the new generation, ability to take up responsibilities, and also recognizing their equal rights with the changing times. Wish you all the best on this new Women's Day celebration which is happening this year. All the best to you, and very happy Women's Day to all my lady colleagues.
Since time immemorial, women have played a pivotal role in the growth and development of science and technology. Their work inspired research in fields as diverse as medicine, astronomy, and environmental science. They broke the sound barrier and gender barriers along the way, but the journey was not easy for them.
Women have continued to excel in all walks of life, including politics, scientific research, literature, and sports, overcoming all obstacles through hard work and perseverance.
An equal world is an enabled world is the official theme of this year's Women's Day. The theme provides a unified direction to guide and galvanize collective action aimed at establishing gender equality in all spheres of life. At the Indian Space Research Organization, every year this day is dedicated to our vibrant women workforce in honor of the exemplary contributions made by them.
In ISRO, women have emerged as a prominent workforce over the last few decades. In Vssc, from a meager 2.4% in 1970, female population has grown to 21% over the last 50 years.
In diverse fields ranging across aerodynamic studies, structural design, material and polymer sciences, electronic circuit design, explosives, vehicle integration, administration and auxiliary services, to name a few. These multifaceted, dedicated women folk at ISRO have proved time and again that they are as good as their male counterparts.
With exceptional achievements and commitment to do more, women at ISRO are a true testament that there is no limit to what a woman can achieve.
All women of IISU are equally responsible and are involved in all the stages of this processing.
From guidance and control design to simulations.
Onboard software to flight actuator validation.
Team CGSC works dedicatedly
to ensure mission success.
Come, celebrate with us.
Fiber reinforced polymers of Nike Apache rocket has triggered the birth of composite technology in ISRO.
IISU is responsible for design and development of inertial sensors systems which are very crucial for launch vehicle and spacecraft.
We, the structures team, contribute to right from structural loads, design and analysis to dynamic studies, structural testing and dynamic testing.
So our aero entity here, we are doing end-to-end mission design.
We design and deliver the avionic systems for all launch vehicles of ISRO.
We in Systems Reliability Entity work shoulder to shoulder with our male counterparts in ensuring quality and reliability of all systems in ISRO's launch vehicle missions.
The MVIT team carries out the development of mechanisms and its testing, development of all checkout systems required for launch vehicles, the integration activities, and the final quality control. We work shoulder to shoulder for successful missions.
Together, we form a strong support base for the entire ISRO community. We work hard with dedication to achieve our goals. Together, we are each for equal.
I am working in conventional mission and non-conventional machines.
We, the women of solid propulsion area, are involved in all the activities.
The challenges of women employees in project is mainly in multitasking.
Representing the women employees of ISRO working in the chemical area, holding key positions and key responsibilities in this area.
We, the administrative wing of Vssc, work hard.
We, the recruitment and reviews team of Vssc, feel empowered here.
Pension, welfare, vigilance and legal aspects of our center are officially managed by us.
Accounts is an area in Vssc where women outnumber men, and this has already paved the way for strengthening women's voice.
We, the people of Adjacent Stores Division, put forward towards the achievement of the common organizational goal.
The women employees of CMG feel happy and proud to contribute much.
Equality will be achieved only when men and women granted equal respect.
And jointly we deliver good food and best service to all.
വളരെയധികം കൃത്യനിഷ്ഠതയോടെ തുല്യ പരിഗണനയും നൽകുന്ന ഈ സ്ഥാപനത്തിൽ ജോലി ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയുന്നതിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ സന്തോഷിക്കുന്നു.
Ensuring safety in an organization like ISRO is a demanding task.
We've got a women's strength of 62% in Vssc Medical Service.
Here we celebrate, support and collaborate with everyone without gender bias.
Thus, we help create a gender equal world.
This great organization that has given me a lot of opportunities in a range of roles.
A space transportation system is responsible for aerothermal analysis, control guidance and simulation.
Avionics production team is responsible for the realization of all avionics packages.
We dance, we sing, we create. We are good at sports. We do our bit in giving back to the society as well. We are all each for equal.
They are great managers at home as well as at work. They are good leaders and team builders. They are capable technocrats as well. For women at ISRO, sky is not the limit. They endeavor to break all boundaries, excel in every task that they undertake, and achieve greater heights in life. We are all each for equal.
Each for equal. Thank you. Dr. S. Geeta is an expert in the area of control systems and has been associated with all the launch vehicle missions of ISRO for 3 decades, starting from the very first PSLV mission. As Program Director, Space Transportation System, Dr. Geeta is spearheading the activities associated with operational launch vehicles. I request ma'am to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon. Respected Sri S. Somanath, Director Vssc, who is presiding today's function. Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew, Chief Guest of the Day. Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, Speaker for Special Address. Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, Director IISU. Sri Roy M. Cherian, Associate Director Vssc. Sri Dr. S.C. Sharma, Associate Director R&D. Dr. Biju Jacob, Chief Controller, Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, distinguished invitees, and my dear friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. I am privileged and feel extremely honored to welcome you all for this wonderful function, the International Women's Day 2020 celebrations. The program was planned in a grand manner on March 16th. The function had to be postponed because of the restrictions due to COVID-19. Soon, the entire country went to lockdown mode. During the lockdown period, the process of online meetings and events became order of the day. In the present situation, it is not possible to have the celebrations in a way it was originally planned. We felt that it would be better to conduct the function in an online mode. International Women's Day, as we all acknowledge, is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, making a call to action for accelerating gender equality. In fact, the hashtag for this year's IWD 2020 is hashtag Each for Equal, proclaims that an equal world is an enabled world. It is astonishing to recollect that this theme is what Indian culture has been promoting for long and what we all know as the concept of Ardhanarishwara, the synergy of man and woman as a perfect whole. We should try to create a gender equal world. Our vibrant director, Sri S. Somanath, the eminent techno-managerial expert, the efficient system professional who is re-scripting development vision with new and exciting proposals, has always been a source of constant inspiration to us, the organizers of IWD. May I formally welcome you, sir, to this function on my personal behalf and on behalf of all of us. Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew, the dynamic CEO of Manorama Online, the digital media arm of the renowned Manorama Publications, readily accepted our invitation to be a part of this celebration. Malayalam Manorama made its online foray way back in 1997 as a whopping 36 million viewers a month, aspires every segment of the society, especially children and women. Under her leadership, Manorama Online received many coveted awards and recognitions. A very warm welcome to you, madam, on behalf of IWD organizing team. Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, DGM, Messrs. Thermopenpol Limited, will be delivering today's special address. She is redefining the scope and strategies of IEEE Kerala section as its chairperson and bringing international laurels to the section. Let me welcome Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan for this function. Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, Director IISU and the dynamic leader of ISRO Inertial System Development Team, which is periodically bringing out exciting systems for improving performance of launch vehicles as well as satellites, was always a source of encouragement and support to us. I welcome you, sir, for this function. Sri Roy M. Cherian, Associate Director, is an expert in the area of aerospace-related mechanical fabrication, was always with us while organizing the IWD. I welcome you, sir, for this function. Dr. Sharath Chandra Sharma, Associate Director R&D, the materials expert par excellence, who is now meticulously following up and ensuring progress in the research and development activities of Vssc. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Dr. Biju Jacob, IA&AS, Chief Controller, Vssc, has provided the organizers of IWD all support. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, was spearheading the International Women's Day celebrations in the past, was a resource person for the organizing team. I welcome Dr. Radhika Ramachandran. As part of the celebrations, various competitions and exhibitions in digital platform were organized. A blood donation initiative is also organized as part of the event following the current protocols. I appreciate the enthusiasm shown by the participants and I welcome all of them. A function like this is to made memorable by the presence of all of you. Management Council members from ISRO centers, senior colleagues and fellow Vssc and IISU members. Let me welcome all of you. An event of this magnitude is the result of sincere efforts of a lot of people. I acknowledge and welcome all of them. I would like to welcome Srimati Rani Radhakrishnan, Convener Organizing Committee, who was instrumental in the meticulous arrangement for this function. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you for the International Women's Day 2020 celebrations. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Shri S. Somnath, Director, Vssc, is a visionary leader and a champion of gender equality. His unbiased approach and multidimensional thinking are an inspiration to all of us. He has been a guiding force at each step of this elaborate event. I humbly request Shri S. Somnath to deliver the presidential address.
Good afternoon, our honorable chief guest of this program, Srimati Maria Mammon Matthew. Our guest who is going to give the special address today is Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan. Our chairperson of the organizing committee of International Women's Day, Dr. S. Geeta. Director, IISU, Dr. Samdayal Dev. Our associate director, Roy M. Cherian, and Dr. Sharat Chandra Sharma. Our chief controller, Dr. Biju Jacob. Director of SPL, Dr. Radhika Ramachandran. Other organizing committee members of IWD 2020. Once again, good afternoon to each one of you. We were planning to organize this Women's Day celebration on the designated day, the March 8th. But unfortunately, due to many reasons, which is well known to you, it couldn't happen even on those postponed days. Now we are going to resort to this virtual mode of celebration of International Women's Day this year. Though it is belated, I believe it is really appropriate to have a celebration of Women's Day as we used to do every year. This year, Women's Day is being celebrated with an important theme, is an equal world and enabled world. That's a theme. And you all know the symbol of that equal world and an enabled world, showing very clearly, showing the equality between genders. And we also salute those women during 1956 in Pretoria who marched for their rights, which began the whole journey of this Women's Day celebration program all across the globe. It is the right time that this year we celebrate this Women's Day with this theme, where more and more instances of inequality emerges and issues of women in the society and the disparity that is being shown, not only in lower strata of the society, but also in the stratas which we think the equality really exists. The issues of girl child are being highlighted, media, press, in a big way today. But at the same time, actions are taken in societies which is more aware of such issues of disparity to bring about gender equality. And in fact, I am very happy to report to you, because I belong to an International Astronautical Federation group where one of the important themes that being discussed there is 3G diversity, in which one of the G is gender equality. And I want to tell you, this year, the new International Astronautical Federation president is a woman, Dr. Pascal from Germany. This is the first time in the history of International Astronautical Federation a woman has reached that position. This year also marks many women being decorated with the Nobel Prize. Probably you know the person who got a literature Nobel Prize this year, Louise Gluck, for her wonderful work in poetry. So is the Nobel Prize being awarded to one of the women in physics for observing the black hole for a long time and then finding out. Andre M. Bsse, along with two other colleagues who did wonderful research on the evolution of the black hole and identifying some of the black hole deep into the Milky Way galaxy. What we are supposed to do in a Women's Day celebration or on talking about gender equality, first is to create awareness among society. Really, I am fortunate that I, being a man, not because of my choice, happen to speak about women's equality to you, I think it looks an irony. But unfortunately, the forces that works against women are from men, of course. And of course, that is also from women as well. You know, some of the harassments and issues they face are also from women. So as far as the society goes, it is not limited to, these difficulties that the women faces are not limited to gender alone, but it is more related to the culture of the society and the behavior of the society. So what we need to do is to create awareness among the society of this important issue, and then identify them whenever such differentiation or issues do occur, that we need to be more cautious about it. So that's the meaning of awareness. And taking stand, that is another point. That is whenever we observe issues related to women, it is important that we take positions, that we don't ignore it. That, okay, these are natural in a society, so you don't really worry about all of them. This is likely to happen, and this is how the society has been since years. So we usually take such stance. I think that is not what is needed. In such occasions that we need to stand up and then say what you did is not proper, what the society is doing is not proper, that opinion is not proper, and it is important that we take those positions in society, in the workplace, in your home, everywhere. Another important thing is to upload those gains that women are achieving, like what I just mentioned about the position of a president of International Astronautical Federation or all the Nobel Prizes, and they need special appreciation, because to become somebody like that, in that being a woman and still achieve those positions are much more tougher than for a man to achieve that position. So it is really important to applaud them and congratulate them from your heart. I think this is really essential while we celebrate this Women's Day. And also important to celebrate their accomplishments. Of course, many of them, though not being told openly or not being hailed great, women do accomplish great things in the society, in their field of work, in their family, in the society, and bringing up new generation. Their contributions are immense. I think we need to assemble today and then speak about them. I think the work done by women's group in the space program, ISRO, especially in Vssc, IISU and LPSC, when you join together and then celebrate this Women's Day, I believe that the action that you are taking is to celebrate your accomplishments in various forms, in your art, talent, work, leadership. All of them are being celebrated today. And we have two wonderful women who are going to speak to you today about their vision, view, their social accomplishments, and their career accomplishments, which I am sure will really motivate each one of you. Though our celebration this year is getting delayed and it is becoming virtual, I am sure that all of you have done wonderfully well in participating, recording these programs, and then airing it to the whole community that is going to watch it, and then understand the strength that is there within the camaraderie that you have created among the women employees of Vssc, because you need to stand together. I think that is very, very important. Whenever some of you faces challenges in family, in society, in workplace, it is only your strength of being together will help you to overcome that. Also, you need to take the men. Don't tell them they are the opposite sex. They are the sex that is going to stand along with you. So you take them along, have the confidence in them, and then work together. And then only the equality really comes in place. I'm sure that from my part, I stand with you, I declare. There is no need to declare really, because there were many women in my life as well. I think I have to salute all of them, starting from my mother onwards to my daughter. Those women who have been part of my life, I salute each one of them for their wonderful contribution and their contribution to make me what I am. I think each man need to be proud of that aspect. So and share the joy of your life with them. Thank you so much for this International Women's Day celebration being conducted in this virtual platform and making me part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, the dynamic leader of ISRO Inertial Systems Unit, has been a constant source of encouragement for all of us. I now request Dr. Sam Dayal sir, to offer his felicitations.
Respected Director Vssc Shri S. Somnath, Associate Director Vssc Shri Roy M. Cherian, Associate Director R&D Vssc Dr. S.C. Sharma, Distinguished Guest of the Day Srimati Mariam Mohammed Matthew, Chief Executive Officer Manorama Online, Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, DGM, Thermo Penpal Limited and Chairperson IEEE Kerala Section, Dr. Biju Jacob, Chief Controller Vssc, Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, Dr. Geeta, Program Director STS Vssc and Chairperson Organizing Committee IWD 2020, MC members of Vssc and IISU, and dear colleagues, a very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, let me congratulate the organizing team of International Women's Day celebrations led by Dr. Geeta for the meticulous efforts in conducting this very important event. I also presume that the entire women community of Vssc and IISU will be watching this program online. On earlier years, we have seen a very large, colorful gathering of women employees assembling and participate in the Women's Day program at Dr. Srinivasan Auditorium. Let me first salute you all for the celebrating the womanhood. A grand International Women's Day celebration was planned in 16th March jointly by Vssc and IISU, but even with the pandemic, our enthusiastic women community has risen to the occasion and came out with the current concept of conducting the program in digital platform. In addition to this function, I came to know that several online competitions such as essay writing competition, group song, skit display of creativity and personal achievement are also being planned. Our colleagues during the last few years have also taken up the blood donation camp voluntarily, and the number of them coming forward for this cause is increasing every year. I have no doubt that all our employees, as usual, following the ISRO culture, will participate with passion and enthusiasm. We have seen a very nice curtain raiser photo shoot highlighting the current year theme and achievements of our women community. Also, I was told that a link has been created for showcasing the talents of both technical and personal, covering their achievements and creativity. At this juncture, let me gratefully acknowledge the immense contributions made by them globally for the welfare and progress of humankind. In IISU, the women engineers outnumber the men in the engineers category. Of course, in the technicians, the numbers are dominant with the technicians. Women community has proved beyond doubt that they are not second to anyone in all walks of life, especially during the last 2 to 3 decades. It has been proved time and again that females who temper their nurturing, maternal qualities with a sense of self-identity are empowered individuals and an invaluable asset to the society. If we examine the case in our own country, many women stand out and have emerged across the length and breadth. And in ISRO particular, breaking glass ceilings in the process of achieving greater and greater heights and carving out a niche for themselves in their respective area of work. Our chief guest of the day is a classical example for this, and her immense contributions in public life are known to all. Now, the theme of this year's Women's Day celebration is very apt and significant. An equal world is an enabled world. We need to give attention to the rights and activism of women in every walk of life. See, in this context, the Generation Equality campaign is bringing people of every gender, age, ethnicity, race, religion and country to derive actions that will create the gender equal world we all deserve. Collectively, each one of us can help create a gender equal world. In fact, last evening when I was thinking about this theme, I got a call from my daughter, who is a frontline COVID doctor, and I said, why don't you give me some input for my talk on this? So she said, see, all this Women Day celebrations, it is all about the men. Then it's what's a little surprising to me. So then we moved on to some other things. Then I thought, I reflected it back and again. Then the success of women or this enabling, definitely it is all about the society. All about the society where what we are living in. So therefore, the society plays a major role in enabling. See, even if we light innumerable wicks from a single glowing lamp, it continues to radiate the same heat and energy. That means from a earthen lamp or as a brass lamp, anything a light is lighted up, it spreads the light. So therefore, a single individual's effort and it agglomerates into a society, as effort of a society or an achievement of a society, then only we can meet this. Success in life also has to tell the same story. So for my beloved colleagues who have assembled here, I have 5 points for you to become enablers. Develop the courage and stability to overcome problems before you through discussions with family members and colleagues. Cultivate the habit of bringing positive thoughts to your mind and find solutions to problems. Carefully use words and should come from your heart. That means after a lot of thoughtfulness and the kindness what you naturally have. Create proper insight about the people and the world around you. Do not at any time feel isolated for any reason from others and society. I firmly hope that many new ideas and thought process will evolve in this Women's Day celebrations and in the coming years also, and fervently wish you all celebrations a grand success. Let God and Almighty bestow you on all of you His choicest blessings and also give enough strength and courage to execute your assigned multidisciplinary task with utmost perfection at any time and anywhere, at the same time catering to the society as well as all the people around you. You should have faith and attachment on the God that will pave the way for all the success. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Shri Roy M. Cherian, Associate Director of Vssc, to kindly offer his felicitations.
Respected Director Vssc, Sri S. Somnath, Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew, Chief Guest of the Day, Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, Special Invitee for today's function, Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, Director IISU, Dr. Vssc Sharma, Associate Director Vssc, Dr. Biju Jacob, Chief Controller Vssc, Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, Dr. S. Geeta, Program Director and Chairperson for the Organizing Committee of International Women's Day Celebrations 2020, and my dear friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to be with you today when we are celebrating the International Women's Day 2020. So, the International Women's Day celebrates the achievements of women in various fields of life, and it mainly focuses on gender equality and women's rights. So this is something which has been, people have been striving for improving women's rights and getting them their rightful privileges for the last more than a century. And the first International Women's Day was in 1909. And actually from then on, incremental progress is being achieved each year. And only as late as 1977, the United Nations recognized this celebration, and from that year onwards, globally also on March 8th, the International Women's Day is being celebrated. And these celebrations, even though we have been doing this for so many decades, they still continue to be very relevant, because as far as gender equality is concerned, a lot needs to be still done, and we need to go forward a very long way. And if you look at recent media reports in India, it makes us really think again, where are we standing even today as far as women's rights are concerned. So, when it is often said that cultural maturity of a civilization is evidenced by its treatment of its elderly and women. So, if we have to become a really evolved and developed nation, we have to also evolve our social system, which is matching those evolved status. And for this, women deserve a special status in society. And as you know, when we improve the living conditions of women, their education and their environment, it leads to the better family life, and that happy families and millions of such happy families lead to definitely a better nation, a much developed nation. So a lot of work needs to be done in this direction, and let us all work together for this. And even today, if you see, lot of instances are there where the dignity of women is compromised, and it's all happening all around us, all around the world. All such tendencies need to be eliminated. A constant vigil is required by all of us on this. And so let me take this opportunity to salute all mothers who selflessly tread the path of home building, often sidelining and even forgetting their own needs. And let us start in our own homes by teaching our sons to treat their mothers and sisters with respect and without prejudice. And let us permit our daughters to have dreams and aspirations of their own, and also to work for achieving those aspirations. So there is a saying that behind every successful man there is a woman. Somebody recently modified it to say that behind every successful woman there is only herself. So let us change that and wholeheartedly support our women and contribute to their success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now call upon Dr. S.C. Sharma, Associate Director R&D Vssc, to kindly offer his felicitations.
Yeah, my greetings to all. First of all, let me compliment the organizing team of International Women's Day 2020 in Vssc for organizing this event in such a wonderful way, even during these very difficult times. When I learned about the theme of this year's International Women's Day, that is each for equal, an equal world is an enabled world, recent monumental and historical achievements of women started flashing in my mind. Arunima Sinha is the first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. She lost her leg when pushed from a running train by anti-social elements. Lieutenant Bhavna Kasturi created history by becoming the first woman army officer to lead an all-men contingent Republic Day parade in 2019. Flying officer Avani Chaturvedi created history by becoming the first woman fighter pilot in India to fly MiG-21 Bison. Geeta Gopinath became the first Indian woman to be appointed as the chief economist at the International Monetary Fund (IMF). Astronauts Jessica Meyer and Christina Koch from NASA did an all-women spacewalk in October 2019 for the first time. They ventured out of the International Space Station to replace a power controller. List of women becoming chairpersons and CEOs of multinational companies, banks, etc. is increasing year after year. Women are known to manage the finances at home better, but finances of the country of 1.35 billion people in India are managed by an exemplary efficiency by a woman, Nirmala Sitharaman. I wonder what else society needs to treat women equal. Women have proven their capability in every sphere of life. Treating them equal is absolutely essential for a society or nation to realize its full potential. History shows that whichsoever society or nation gives equal status and rights to women, that society or nation progresses faster. Of course, dark patches are still there. We daily come to know in media about the atrocities being committed against women. It shows that campaigns and social work for the empowerment of women are to continue with renewed zeal and efforts. Events like International Women's Day go a long way in strengthening and propagating the cause of women around the world. Appropriate themes like this year's theme, Each for Equal, an equal world is enabled world, makes us aware and remind all of us about our responsibility towards working and creating gender equal society and world. I thank the organizing team once again for giving me this opportunity to express my views and congratulate them for their excellent efforts for making this event a huge success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Biju Jacob, IA and AS, Chief Controller Vssc, to offer his felicitations.
Most respected Director Vssc Sri Somnath Sir, Director IISU Sri Shamdayalji, Associate Directors Sri Royam Charian, Sri Sharat Chandra Sharma, SPL Director Madam Radhika Ramachandran, and the guest of honor Srimati Mariamma Maman Matthew. First of all, let me congratulate all the organizers for organizing the Women's Day 2020. As we know, because of the lockdown, we had to shift the program from March to October. Anyway, it's a great pleasure to be a part of this function to celebrate the beauty of womanhood. നിർഭാഗ്യവശാൽ സ്ത്രീകളെ പുരുഷന്മാരും തമ്മിലുള്ള സിമിലാരിറ്റിയേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ അവർ തമ്മിലുള്ള ജെൻഡർ ഡിഫറൻസസിനെയാണ് പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ എക്സാജറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുള്ളത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ധാരാളം തമാശകളും ഇതിനെപ്പറ്റി വരാറുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ലോക്ക്ഡൗൺ കാലമായതുകൊണ്ട് ഏറ്റവും പുതുതായി വായിച്ച ഒരു തമാശ ലോക്ക്ഡൗണും ലോക്കപ്പും തമ്മിലുള്ള ഒരു വ്യത്യാസത്തെ പറ്റിയാണ്. എന്താണ് ലോക്കപ്പ്? നമുക്കറിയാം, ഒരാൾ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നു ലോക്കപ്പ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ പോലീസ് കസ്റ്റഡിയിൽ ഒരു ജയിലിൽ അടക്കപ്പെട്ട് കിടക്കുകയാണ്. ലോക്ക്ഡൗൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഭാര്യയുടെ കസ്റ്റഡിയിൽ വീട്ടറസ്റ്റിൽ ആയിരിക്കുന്ന സമയമെന്ന് സരസമായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞുവെങ്കിലും ഇത് സ്ത്രീ പുരുഷന്മാർ തമ്മിലുള്ള ആ വ്യത്യാസത്തെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഉത്തമ ഉദാഹരണമാണ്. നമ്മൾ പുരുഷന്മാർക്ക് ഒരുപാട് കംപ്ലൈൻസ് സ്ത്രീകളെ പറ്റിയുണ്ട്. ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് കംപ്ലൈൻറ്റ്സ്. ദേ ആർ വീക്ക്, ദേ ടേക്ക് ടു മച്ച് ടൈം ഫോർ ഷോപ്പിംഗ്, നോട്ട് കേപ്പബിൾ ഓഫ് ടേക്കിംഗ് ഡിസിഷൻസ് എന്ന് വേണ്ട പരാതികളുടെ ഒരു വലിയ കൂമ്പാരമുണ്ട് നമ്മളുടെ പക്കൽ. നമ്മുടെ ഈ മഹത്തായ രാജ്യം ത്തേക്ക് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരുപാട് വിരോധാഭാസം ഈ വിഷയത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. എല്ലാ ഗ്രാമത്തിലും ദേവി ഒരു പൂജാമൂർത്തിയാണ്, ഒരു ആരാധനാമൂർത്തിയാണ്. അത് ദേവിയെന്നോ അമ്മനെന്നോ പറഞ്ഞ് സ്ത്രീകളെ നമ്മൾ ആരാധിക്കുന്നു. നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒക്ടോബർ മാസത്തിൻ്റെ ഈ ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ ദുർഗയുടെ രൂപത്തിൽ ശക്തി സ്വരൂപിണിയായിട്ട് സ്ത്രീകളെ ആരാധിക്കുന്നു. എന്നാൽ ഇതേ രാജ്യം തന്നെ സ്ത്രീകൾക്കെതിരെയുള്ള അതിക്രമങ്ങൾക്കും കുപ്രസിദ്ധി നേടിയിരിക്കുന്നു. നൊട്ടോറിയസ് ഫോർ ദ ഹീനിയസ് ക്രൈംസ് വി കമ്മിറ്റ് അഗൈൻസ്റ്റ് ദം. സോ വാട്ട് ഷുഡ് ബി അവർ കറക്റ്റ് പിക്ചർ ആൻഡ് ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ടുവേർഡ്സ് വിമൻ? നമ്മൾ ഒരു കാര്യം, ഓൾദോ ദ ജോക്സ് ആൻഡ് ദ സ്റ്റോറീസ് ആൻഡ് ദ പോപ്പുലർ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ exaggerates the difference between male and female, let us not forget that each person has a male and female nature inside him. Masculine and feminine nature are inbuilt in each and every human being. എല്ലാ പുരുഷന്മാരിലും അവരുടെ അമ്മയുടെ ഒരു അംശം അടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. എല്ലാ സ്ത്രീകളിലും അവരുടെ പിതാവിൻ്റെ ഒരു അംശം അടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. പുരുഷത്വമാണ് നമുക്ക് ശക്തി നൽകുന്നത്, ഊർജം പകരുന്നത്. എന്നാൽ ജീവിതത്തിന് മനോഹാരിത നൽകുന്നത് സ്ത്രീത്വമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു യഥാർത്ഥ ഒരു ഐഡിയൽ ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ സ്ത്രീത്വവും പുരുഷത്വവും ഒരേപോലെ സമ്മേളിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പോകുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിയായിരിക്കണം. ഇതിന് ഭഗവാൻ ശ്രീകൃഷ്ണനേക്കാളും നല്ല ഒരു ഉദാഹരണം നമുക്ക് കാണുവാനില്ല. മഹാഭാരത യുദ്ധത്തിലെ ഒരു സംഭവത്തിൽ നിന്നിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെ കൂട്ടിക്കൊണ്ടു പോകട്ടെ. മഹാഭാരത യുദ്ധം നടക്കുന്ന സമയം, യുദ്ധം പല മുഖങ്ങളിൽ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഏറ്റവും പൊരിഞ്ഞ യുദ്ധം അർജുനനും കർണനും തമ്മിലാണ്. രണ്ടുപേരും വില്ലാളി വീരന്മാരാണ്. രണ്ടുപേരിലും ആവശ്യത്തിന് ദിവ്യാസ്ത്രങ്ങളുമുണ്ട്. അർജുനന്റെ തേരാളിയായിട്ട് കൃഷ്ണനാണ് ഉള്ളത്. യുദ്ധം നടക്കുന്ന സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ അർജുനൻ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു. കാരണം താൻ അയക്കുന്ന അസ്ത്രങ്ങൾ കൊള്ളുമ്പോൾ കർണന്റെ തേര് ഒരുപാട് പുറകിലേക്ക് തള്ളപ്പെടുന്നു. എന്നാൽ കർണൻ അയക്കുന്ന അസ്ത്രങ്ങൾ വരുമ്പോൾ തൻ്റെ തേര അധികം പുറകിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നില്ല, ഒന്ന് ചലിച്ച് അവിടെ നിൽക്കുകയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ കർണനെ അപേക്ഷിച്ച് തൻ്റെ ആയോധന പാടവത്തിൽ അർജുനനൊരു അഭിമാനം തോന്നി. പലപ്പോഴും കർണന്റെ രഥം പുറകോട്ട് പോകുന്നത് നോക്കി കൃഷ്ണന്റെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്നൊരു അപ്രീസിയേഷൻ, ഒരു അനുമോദനം ലഭിക്കുമെന്നറിയാൻ കൃഷ്ണന്റെ മുഖത്തേക്ക് അർജുനൻ നോക്കാറുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഭാവഭേദവും ഇല്ലാതെ കൃഷ്ണൻ നിൽക്കുന്ന കാഴ്ചയാണ് കാണുന്നത്. അർജുനനെ അതൊന്ന് ശകലം അലസോരപ്പെടുത്തി. 1-2 തവണ അർജുനൻ കൃഷ്ണനോട് പരാതി പറയുകയും ചെയ്തു. പക്ഷെ കർണനെ പുകഴ്ത്തിയതല്ലാതെ കൃഷ്ണൻ അർജുനന് മറുപടി നൽകിയില്ല. ഒടുവിൽ യുദ്ധം അവസാനിച്ചു. മടങ്ങും വഴി രഥം നിർത്തി അർജുനനോട് രഥത്തിൽ നിന്ന് വെളിയിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങുവാൻ കൃഷ്ണൻ ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടു. അർജുനൻ രഥത്തിൽ നിന്ന് മാറി അകലേക്ക് നടന്നകലുമ്പോൾ കൃഷ്ണനും ആ രഥത്തിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തിറങ്ങി. പെട്ടെന്നൊരു ശബ്ദത്തോടുകൂടി അർജുനന്റെ രഥം പൊട്ടിച്ചെതറി ചാമ്പലായിപ്പോയി. തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയ അർജുനൻ അത്ഭുതപ്പെട്ടുപോയി. അർജുനനോട് കൃഷ്ണൻ വിവരിച്ചു കൊടുത്തു. കൃഷ്ണൻ പറഞ്ഞു, അർജുന, നിന്റെ രഥം ദിവസങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പേ കർണന്റെ ദിവ്യായുധങ്ങളേറ്റ് തകർന്നു പോയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ അത് തകരാതെ നിന്നെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തിയിരുന്നത് ഞാനാണ്. എൻ്റെ സാന്നിധ്യം നിന്റെ രഥത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത് കൊണ്ടാണ് ആ ദിവ്യായുധങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റിട്ടും നിന്റെ രഥം തകരാറുന്നത്. സോ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ റിലേഷൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ വിമൻസ് ഡേ ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇൻസിഡൻറ്റ്? ഒന്നാമത് നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കണം, അർജുനനും കർണനും പൗരുഷത്തെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. They represents the masculine power, strength, vigor, vitality, energy. എന്നാൽ കൃഷ്ണ represents the feminine aspect of care, protection and wisdom. നമ്മൾ ജീവിതത്തിലേക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കണം, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, നമ്മളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ജീവിതമാകുന്ന, നമ്മുടെ കുടുംബമാകുന്ന ഈ രഥത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതങ്ങളിലുള്ള സ്ത്രീകളിലാണ്. അത് അമ്മയാകാം, അത് സഹോദരിയാകാം, ഭാര്യയാകാം, മകളാകാം. ഒരു സ്ത്രീയുടെ സാന്നിധ്യമില്ലാതെ ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിനും സുരക്ഷിതത്വമില്ലാതെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ സാധ്യമല്ല. കുടുംബത്തെ എപ്പോഴും ആ ജീവിതമെന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഈ കുരുക്ഷേത്ര യുദ്ധക്കളത്തിൽ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന കൃഷ്ണൻ്റെ റോള് സ്ത്രീകൾക്കുള്ളതാണ്. രണ്ടാമത്, കൃഷ്ണനാണ് തൻ്റെ രഥത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തിയതെന്ന് അർജുനൻ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും മനസ്സിലാക്കിയോ? അർജുനൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത് തൻ്റെ രഥം പൊട്ടിച്ചിതറി തകർന്നതിന് ശേഷമാണ്. എന്നെ കേൾക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സഹപ്രവർത്തകരെ, ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പുരുഷൻ തൻ്റെ ജീവിതത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന, തൻ്റെ കുടുംബത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന ഈ സ്ത്രീയെ, കൃഷ്ണനെ പോലെ ഈ രഥത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന ഈ സ്ത്രീയെ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ? അനുമോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഒരു നല്ല വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടോ? എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷമോ കഴിഞ്ഞതിൻ്റെ മുമ്പത്തെ വർഷമോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞതാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. എങ്കിലും ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി പറയട്ടെ, I would suggest all of you to see the movie കുമ്പളങ്കി നൈറ്റ്സ്. കുമ്പളങ്കി നൈറ്റ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ സിനിമ ആമസോൺ പ്രൈമിലോ വല്ലതും കാണുമെങ്കിൽ ഒന്നുകൂടെ കാണുന്നത് നന്നായിരിക്കും. കാരണം അമ്മയോ സഹോദരിയോ സഹോദരൻ്റെ ഭാര്യയോ മകളോ ഇല്ലാതെ 4 സഹോദരന്മാർ ഒന്നിച്ചൊരു കുടുംബത്തിൽ ജീവിച്ചാൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുമെന്നുള്ളതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഉത്തമ ഉദാഹരണമാണ് ഇത്. 2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു. നമ്പർ 1, കുടുംബത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന, അർജുനന്റെ രഥത്തെ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് നിർത്തുന്ന കൃഷ്ണന്റെ സാന്നിധ്യം പോലെയാണ് ഒരു സ്ത്രീയുടെ സാന്നിധ്യം ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിൽ. 2, ഈ സ്ത്രീയുടെ സാന്നിധ്യമാണ് കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ ഐശ്വര്യമെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കാറില്ല. മൂന്നാമത്, ഇതിനെ അടിസ്ഥാനപ്പെടുത്തി ലെറ്റ് മീ ഗീവ് യു ആൻ ഇക്വേഷൻ. എല്ലാവരും ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞന്മാരും കണക്കിൽ പ്രാവീണ്യമൊക്കെ ഉള്ളവരും ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാനൊരു ഇക്വേഷൻ തരട്ടെ. ദ സ്ട്രെങ്ത്, പ്രോസ്പെരിറ്റി ആൻഡ് വൈറ്റാലിറ്റി ഓഫ് എ ഫാമിലി ഈസ് ഡയറക്ട്ലി പ്രൊപ്പോർഷണൽ ടു ദ സ്ട്രെങ്ത് ഓഫ് ദ വിമൻ ഇൻ ദ ഫാമിലി. ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ ഐശ്വര്യം, സമാധാനം, അഭിവൃദ്ധി, പുരോഗതി ഇതെല്ലാം ആ കുടുംബത്തിലെ സ്ത്രീകളുടെ ശക്തിയിലും കഴിവിലും ആശ്രയിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. പുരുഷന്മാർക്ക് അതിന് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നത് വളരെ കുറവാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് സ്ത്രീകളെല്ലാവരും, എന്നെ കേൾക്കുന്ന സ്ത്രീകളെല്ലാം ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി തലയൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് ഉയർത്തി അഭിമാനത്തോടു കൂടി ഒന്ന് ഇരുന്നാട്ടെ. നാലാമതൊരു കാര്യം കൂടി പറയട്ടെ. പലപ്പോഴും പുരുഷന്മാർക്ക് തോന്നാറുണ്ട് തങ്ങളുടെ ജീവിതത്തിലെ സ്ത്രീകൾ തങ്ങളെ അപ്രീഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറില്ല, തങ്ങളെ അഭിനന്ദിക്കാറില്ല, തങ്ങൾ കാണിക്കുന്ന വീരപരാക്രമങ്ങളൊന്നും അർജുനനെ കൃഷ്ണൻ അഭിനന്ദിക്കാതിരുന്നത് പോലെ തങ്ങളെ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നില്ല എന്നൊരു പരാതി പല പുരുഷന്മാർക്കുമുണ്ട്. യെസ്, ശരിയാണ്. കാരണം മറ്റൊന്നുമല്ല, പുരുഷന്മാരാണ് ഫ്രണ്ട് ലൈനിൽ യുദ്ധം ചെയ്യുന്നതെങ്കിലും ആ യുദ്ധം ചെയ്യുന്നതിനുള്ള ശക്തി, ഊർജം, അതിനുള്ള അവസരം എല്ലാം ഒരുക്കി തരുന്നത് ഈ രഥം തെളിക്കുന്ന കൃഷ്ണനെ പോലെ നിൽക്കുന്ന സ്ത്രീകളാണ്. ഞാൻ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കട്ടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ. ഒരു ചെടിയുടെ തണ്ടോ ഇലയോ അതിൻ്റെ വേരുകളോ ഒക്കെ പോലെയാണ് പുരുഷത്വം. ദ മാസ്കുലിൻ ആസ്പെക്ട് ഈസ് ലൈക്ക് ദ റൂട്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റെം ആൻഡ് ദ ലീവ്സ് ഓഫ് എ പ്ലാന്റ്. എന്നാൽ സ്ത്രീത്വമാണ് ചെടിയുടെ പുഷ്പവും ഫലവും ആയിട്ട് അതിന് മനോഹാരിത നൽകുന്നത്. ദ ഫെമിനിൻ ആസ്പെക്ട് ഈസ് ദ ഫ്ലവർ ആൻഡ് ദ ഫ്രൂട്ട് വിച്ച് ഗീവ്സ് ബ്യൂട്ടി. അപ്പോൾ പുരുഷഭാവം മാത്രം നിറഞ്ഞ ഒരു സമൂഹത്തെപ്പറ്റി ചിന്തിച്ചേ. ഒരു പൂ പോലുമില്ലാത്ത ഒരു പൂന്തോട്ടം മാതിരി ഇരിക്കും അത്. കുറേ ഇലകളും കുറേ തണ്ടുകളും കുറേ വേരുകളും മാത്രം. സ്ത്രീത്വമാണ് ലോകത്തിനും ജീവിതത്തിനും അതിൻ്റെ മനോഹാരിത നൽകുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ജെൻഡറിൽ മാത്രമല്ല, നമ്മളുടെ പഠനത്തിൽ ഫിസിക്സോ കെമിസ്ട്രിയോ സയൻസും കണക്കുമൊക്കെ മാസ്കുലിൻ ആസ്പെക്റ്റിനെ സ്ട്രെസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റീസ്, ആർട്സ് അതിൻ്റെ സ്ത്രൈണഭാവത്തെ പരിപോഷിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. നമുക്ക് സയൻസും മാത്സും പഠിക്കുന്നതിനോടൊപ്പം ആർട്സ് വിഷയങ്ങളും ജീവിതത്തിന് മനോഹാരിത നൽകുവാനായിട്ട് ആവശ്യമാണ് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവർ. ഒരു യഥാർത്ഥ വ്യക്തി, ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ, ഒരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്, ഒരു ഐഡിയൽ ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ് ആകുന്നത് ഈ മാസ്കുലിൻ ആസ്പെക്റ്റും ഫെമിനിൻ ആസ്പെക്റ്റും കൂടെ ഒരേപോലെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് അതിനെ ഒന്ന് ബ്ലെൻഡ് ചെയ്തെടുക്കുന്ന സന്ദർഭത്തിലാണ്. കൃഷ്ണനെ പോലെ അതിന് നമുക്ക് സാധിക്കട്ടെ. അതിന് നമ്മുടെ ഉൾക്കാഴ്ച ലഭിക്കുന്ന ഒരു അവസരമായിട്ട് ഈ വിമൻസ് ഡേ മാറട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director, Space Physics Laboratory, to kindly offer her felicitations.
Respected Director Vssc, Sri Somnath, distinguished Chief Guests of the function, Srimati Mariam Mamen Matthew, Chief Executive Officer of Manorama Online, and Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, DGM Termo Penpol, Director IISU, Sri Dr. Samdayal Dev, Associate Directors, Sri Roy Cherian and Dr. Bsse Sharma, Dr. Biju Jacob, Chief Controller Vssc, Dr. Geeta, Chairperson of International Women's Day Celebrations 2020, Srimati Beena, Alternate Chairperson, Conveners, Srimati Jishi and Rani, and my dear colleagues. Good afternoon and a happy Women's Day 2020. Though the day is now past and we could not celebrate on March 8th due to reasons beyond our control, it is great that we are able to virtually assemble now for this event. As the saying goes, better late than never. So here we are today with the organizers trying to recapture our glorious moments since the past International Women's Day 2019. The theme for this year's International Women's Day celebrations has been stated. It is each for equal. An equal world is an enabled world. Nothing could be more pertinent in these times. Now, this theme is also reflected in the UN Women's theme for the International Women's Day celebrations this year, which says, I am the generation equality, realizing women's rights. UN Women, as we know, is the United Nations entity dedicated to gender equality and the empowerment of women. A gender-neutral world is proven to be essential for economies and communities to thrive. So together, it is our responsibility to make it happen. The first International Women's Day was celebrated in 1911. At that time, only 8 countries had voting rights for women. We know that New Zealand was the first country that exercised voting rights for adult women. It is not surprising now to see that this country was in the headlines recently for its very efficient management of the COVID crisis under the leadership of Mrs. Jacinda Ardern, the current Prime Minister. We also just now heard our director referring to the presidentship of the International Astronautical Federation, Dr. Andrea Pascal. We have also read about the Nobel Prizes this year going to several world-renowned women in physics, chemistry, and literature. So my dear friends, changes are happening the world over, and women are getting recognized. Having said that, let me also mention an article that I read recently in the Hindu a few days back, citing Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Chief Scientist of the World Health Organization, that most of the Indian institutions are very patriarchal. The fact that there are at least a few of us women from Vssc on board today's meeting conveys the reverse message. That is a consolation. I am confident that time is not too far to see a lady leading our beloved organization. We all look up to strong, independent women. But to become one, you need to honor yourself and treat yourself with respect. And in turn, set the stage up for others to treat you with respect. You should have faith in yourself and have the ability to rise to any occasion, however severe, and that too with a never say die attitude. The most important message that I would like to convey is that the path to true women empowerment is attained by supporting other women. The International Women's Day celebrations at Vssc very strongly conform to this fact. This is an event that all of us look forward to every year with great awe, where our friends showcase their hidden talents and capability. We see so much of enthusiasm, bonhomie, and fanfare among our female colleagues, which I believe is the path to women empowerment ultimately. Let me conclude by congratulating the chairpersons of the organizing committee, Srimati Geeta and Srimati Beena, 2 strong members of the women force of Vssc, and their equally strong team members for organizing this event so efficiently in these very trying times with a flurry of activity. This speaks volumes for their commitment to the tasks vested on them. They have virtually organized a host of events which no one would have thought possible otherwise. Let me thank the organizers for giving me the chance to speak a few words on this occasion. Wishing the team again all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Srimati A.P. Beena to kindly introduce the chief guest for today's function.
Respected Director Vssc, Sri S. Somnath, Chief Guest Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew, Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, Director IISU, Srimati Sharada J. Krishnan, DGM Termo Penpol, Associate Directors Sri Roy M. Cherian and Dr. Sc. Sharma, Dr. Biju Jacob, Chief Controller Vssc, Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, Dr. S. Geeta, Chairperson IWD 2020 Organizing Committee, Council Members, Invitees and dear colleagues. Good afternoon to all and a warm welcome to this first ever online edition of International Women's Day celebrations at Vssc. It is gratifying that Team IWD 2020 could synergetically converge to organize the Women's Day celebrations online even during these pandemic days. We are really honored to have two illustrious personalities, Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew and Srimati Sharada J. Krishnan, to speak to us on this occasion. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce the chief guest of the event, Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew, to this august gathering. Srimati Mariam Maman Matthew is the Chief Executive Officer of Manorama Online, the digital media arm of the Malayalam Manorama Group. Malayalam Manorama, established in 1888, is like something to wake up to for most of the Malayalis. Our families have been subscribers of Malayalam Manorama over generations, and we are so used to the font format and style that now nothing else will do. The media house had always been growing and evolving, keeping abreast with the technology developments, and the Malayalam Manorama made its online foray way back in 1997. Thanks to the vibrant leadership of persons like Mrs. Mariam Maman Matthew, Manorama Online, with over 36 million unique visitors a month, is now the top Malayalam news website, enriching the life of Keralites across the world through its niche offerings and setting high standards of news delivery approach and processes. Manorama Online also has a bouquet of digital classifieds products that sync with the emotions and needs of Malayalis across the globe, which includes M for Marry, the fastest growing matrimonial site, Manorama Horizon, the education portal, Hello Address, Kerala-based exclusive real estate portal, Quick Kerala, Kerala's own business search engine, QK Doc, the Kerala hospital appointment app. The latest accolades received by the media house bear testimony to its able and dynamic leadership. This includes INMA Global Media Award 2020 and Gold for Manorama Online and Silver for its news app in Van IFRA South Asian Digital Media Awards 2019. Before her stint at Malayalam Manorama, Mariam worked with JP Morgan Chase in New York. An alumna of the St. Stephen's College, New Delhi, from where she did a BA Honours in Economics, Mariam is also an MBA from Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh. She is an avid fitness enthusiast with a passion for long-distance running and is a vocal advocate of the school of thought that those who regularly participate in a sport are likely to be better disciplined and are far more capable of taking bigger challenges. This passion has also weaved the outlook of Mariam on dynamic operating procedures for teams, fair display, and healthy competition at workplace. It has also influenced her philosophy on management techniques. I am sure with her business acumen and management skills, she would be taking Manorama Online to greater heights. We are eagerly awaiting to hear from you, Madam. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honor for me to be invited to this august gathering of accomplished women at Vssc. I was looking forward to coming and meeting all of you in March as part of the Women's Day celebration. Unfortunately, that was not to happen. The theme of this year's IWD 2020 celebrations at Vssc is, I believe, #each for equal. An equal world is an enabled world. In 2014, the world celebrated a photo that resonated with millions of women in this world. A picture of victorious women dressed in vibrant saris. No, it was not a picture from a big fat Indian wedding or a festival. It was, as you all know, from the Indian Space Research Organization. These women are amongst you and were celebrating the Mars Orbiter mission successfully entering the orbit of the red planet. This is one photograph I believe disrupted a lot of notions about women in science and even stereotypical ideas about how they would be dressed. As a woman in media, I look around and see the power of disruption and the need for women to be disruptors. The times we are in now, I would say, belong to women disruptors. Be it a 17-year-old Greta Thunberg standing up to world leaders, or the mothers and the grandmothers on a relentless protest for their rights at Shaheen Bagh. 2 years ago, we saw a woman's single tweet disrupt status quo, bringing down some powerful men from their pedestals. American activist Alyssa Milano kickstarted the #MeToo movement that went down as a landmark moment in the history of women's rights. In America, the movement witnessed a milestone this year after over 100 women put up an agonizing battle to bring down one of Hollywood's most powerful men, Harvey Weinstein. We also saw the movement percolate into multiple fields, including science and even journalism across the world, including India. In the past 2 decades, I have had the opportunity to represent Malayalam Manorama all over the world. And I'm always asked the same question: how Malayalam Manorama from Kerala, one of the smallest states in the country, established itself as the largest circulated vernacular daily and as the most digitally advanced media. And my answer has been the same for the past 19 years since I moved to this state and got initiated into this institution. It is the women of Kerala. The world was aware of the literacy rate of this small state in India. And some were even aware of the unique matrilineal society that was prevalent in the upper caste of the state. But no one put it together as well as the author Manu Pillai in his book Ivory Throne, where he gave us a glimpse of the early battles won for women. In the early 20th century, Regent Queen Sethu Lakshmi Bai of the Travancore royalty took it upon herself to start a unique movement which set the ball rolling for girls to be educated and to push open the doors to several unique job opportunities that were previous bastions of males. Be it elevating Dr. Mary Punnan Lucas to the head of the medical department of Travancore, or nominating Mrs. Elizabeth Kuruvilla in 1928 to the legislature, and who in turn championed a motion to give equal chances to women in government appointments. The Maharani also opened up the study of law to female students. And in a few years, the state had in Miss Anna Chandy, the first woman judicial officer, not only in Travancore, but also in the entire Anglo-Saxon world. Feminism, I believe, has different definitions to different people. To my mother, it has a different connotation, and to me, a very different one. Say from a Gloria Steinem, the flag holder of feminism in the US, or for that matter, closer to home, Mrs. Mary Roy, the founder of my children's school, who fought and won for the equal property rights for women. To me, an empowered woman is a feminist. Empowering women should mean making them aware of their own capabilities. Working in Malayalam Manorama, I have had the proud privilege to work with several such powerful, inspiring women who are constantly, precariously walking the tightrope in the balancing act of their multiple roles. My work experience ranged from IT firms to finance and banking, and now media. Working in all these predominantly male fields, I realized that while the opportunities might slightly differ in all these industries, the challenges remain the same. Whether it's Sheryl Sandberg or Indra Nui or Barkha Dutt or closer to home Shani Prabhakaran of MMTV, the challenges and issues are the same. When we stand for what we think is right and voice our opinions, we are branded bossy. I was called an aggressive North Indian or a pushy American, and you can take your pick on which one, by a senior member of the MM staff, because I grew up in the North and I studied in the US and worked there, and because I asked for results in the organization and not platitudes. We are trolled or worse, murdered like Gauri Lankesh in Bangalore for voicing her opinion. The Cambridge Dictionary explains equal pay as the idea that different groups, such as men and women, should be paid the same amount of money for doing the same or similar jobs. But how much does this apply to women? Even the esteemed BBC was under fire when presenter Samira Ahmed took the company to an employment tribunal over unequal pay. She complained that she was underpaid for hosting and audience feedback show the News Watch, as compared to her colleague and her counterpart, Jeremy Vine, whose salary was much higher for his program, The Points of View. Even our choice of clothes are questioned. When a man or a boy wears his jeans hanging so low that it is considered inappropriate by anyone's standard, no one says anything. But when a picture of a woman in shorts appears, the entire troll army is out to judge the woman. The latest hashtag, #WomenHaveLegs, emerged in Kerala when a young actress, Anaswara Rajan, was trolled on social media after some pictures of hers emerged. The brave women of Kerala started posting pictures of themselves showing their legs with the same hashtag. And I love the response of this gutsy young woman who was trolled. She said, "Don't worry about what I'm doing, worry about why you are worried about what I'm doing." Ask a child to draw a picture of a scientist. In 8 out of 10 cases, he or she would end up drawing a man dressed in a suit or a lab coat. That perception needs to be disrupted. As you are well aware, many women, known and unknown, have been the force beneath the wings of many technology projects in our country. The stories of Ritu Karidal, Muttaya Vanitha, Dr. V.R. Lalidambika, or Tessie Thomas, and many more such women are inspirations for young girls in the country. These girls who are watching these powerful women reach for the stars and the skies are inspired to follow you. Like in many other fields, women have shattered several glass ceilings, even in science, but just not enough. The area of science and research is still not open to women as much as we would like it to be. And that is where we need some disruption to happen. According to a National Task Force report, despite presence of highly motivated women scientists, India's R&D workforce has less than 15% women compared to the global average of 30%, which in itself, while addressing scientists on a National Science Day in February, President Ramnath Kovind said that only a small percentage of women who study science go on to make a successful career and continue with this field. Why don't many more women make their way into science and research? Stereotypes, gender bias towards technology, and upbringing in our homes might have a lot to do with this. I believe that even as we strive to get more women into science-related institutions and academia, a whole lot of it has to start at the grassroots level. It starts with teaching our young girls to change that light bulb or turn that screw. It starts with teaching our sons to make his bed and cook his dinner so that when he grows up, he can support his wife. It is teaching them not to blindly accept the stereotypical roles assigned to them. It starts with teaching our young girls to speak up, to be persistent, and to dream big. There is a story that goes around about Durba Banerjee, one of India's first few women commercial pilots. When Durba Banerjee applied to become a commercial pilot with the Indian Airlines, it is said that when Minister of Civil Aviation Humayun Kabir offered her the job, it was a post of a flight attendant. But she stuck to her guns, and the rest is history. And interestingly, today, India has the highest proportion of female commercial pilots in the world. I read somewhere that in an interview, Minal Sampath, who you all know, that she was in school when she saw a live launch on TV. At that time, it just struck her how cool and great it would be to work at ISRO. And there she is today. And that is where this starts from. From being able to dream young, to having the resources and the mindset to make it into the world of technology, which is, most of the time, a man's world. I believe that personal motivation is an incredibly complex thing. It's molded by internal will, but also strongly influenced by the parenting we receive, the peer group that surrounds us as we grow, the educational opportunities we get, the connections we make, as well as the expectations and the prejudices of those around us. As I speak to accomplished women in this field, we also know the stories of juggling that we do between our homes and our careers. In the face of this pandemic, COVID-19, this has in fact become exacerbated. We are all superwomen, juggling matters of space as well as our homes down here on earth. In you, in the faces we see in the media and the stories we hear, young girls will be inspired. Hope we can, all of us, in our own ways, be disruptors, changing the notions of what it takes for women to be at the top table of every field. And we need to use this for good to change the world for better. I would like to end by quoting Maya Angelou's phenomenal women. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud, because I am a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal women, that's me. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this IWD 2020 celebrations.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. I now request Srimati Jishi Samuel to kindly introduce the speaker for the special address.
Good afternoon to all. It is with immense pleasure that I would like to introduce Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan to this August gathering, a digitally united team with the same spirit. Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan is currently handling twin responsibilities of the DGM operations at Cherumo Penpol and the chairperson of IEEE Kerala section. She completed her graduation from College of Engineering Trivandrum and post-graduation in Business Management from XLRI Jamshedpur. She has long experience of more than 26 years in the manufacturing industry and has played various roles in the leadership fraternity of IEEE Kerala section. She is the recipient of IEEE Art and Women in Engineering Award, Mono Sukuri Award and Women of Excellence Award at Cherumo Penpol. As a woman, Sharada ma'am is a torch-bearer for women empowerment and has always raised her voice for women's causes. On behalf of Vssc and IISU community, let me invite Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan to address us in this virtual platform.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta, for inviting me to be part of the International Women's Day celebration of Vssc, IWD 2020. So when Geeta ma'am called me, I think said sometime in February for the event, I was very elated and also intrigued. Elated because of the thought that yes, I can visit one of the largest campuses holding the brilliant minds of India, and to be able to speak to them, to interact with them in a formal function was really very elating to me. And why was it intriguing? Intriguing specifically because I was thinking, what is it that I can speak to them? What would be the special Women's Day address be about? Because I know that this highly respected organization holds a large number of women professionals. A few of them are my friends from my college, and many others I have known through the many projects that has been part of this organization, the very successful projects that has happened. So my thought immediately went to what is it that I can speak about to this crowd. Of course, the theme for IWD, International Women's Day theme, is each is equal, very, very relevant for the current scenario. And then, of course, the pandemic struck, and we were all in our own locations. We couldn't move, we could only virtually contact, and here comes October. It is indeed wonderful that ma'am and the organizers of this event decided that we should go in full speed, full swing, to have the celebration completed within this year. And I understand this is going to be completed over a series of events in the last week of October. So thank you once again for this opportunity. So let me come to what I thought would be relevant for today's topic of discussion. I would have really loved if it had been interactive, but considering the virtual mode that we are in, let me speak about what I thought would be relevant today. And I just hope that you would all think and elaborate and share based on this small thought. So, as I think more and more about the changes that are happening in the world in terms of not only the current pandemic, but also the situation with respect to human relationships, the way the society is evolving, I realize that change has to happen with every individual with a very basic foundation of character, and that is respect. So I thought, let me speak about respect today. So what is there to speak about respect? If you really research on that subject, I think there is a voluminous material which you can look at, which you can speak about, which you can share. But let me compress to whatever I thought was relevant for today. If you look at the code of ethics of any company, in the recent past, most of the companies have been very vocal about their code of ethics, specifically because of the changes that are happening, as I mentioned, in human interactions, and the understanding that, the cognizance that with the changes that are happening in the world, it is imperative that the organization and the employees, the associates, the stakeholders have to have a basic code of ethics that is followed company-wide. And many a times that is what stands apart when you compare to many of the competition that happens. Like how we think about TCS or Tata, and we immediately think it's an ethical company. So, if you look at the core of ethics of the companies, generally, two things stand as number 1 and 2. Two ethical parameters. Mostly, number 1 is integrity and number 2 is respect. My company, for instance, respect is number 1 and integrity is number 2. So, let's talk about respect. In India, our culture does give a very strong emphasis on respect. We are taught from the beginning to respect our elders, our gurus, our teachers, our guests. That's very, very prominent about when you speak about India and the South Asian countries, where you respect your guests, you respect them as God, as the most important entity. So respect. But our conduct over a period of many years have not really been worth emulating. Respect is a quality which needs to be ingrained in our day-to-day life. It's not just what we speak, it is how we live. So, respect in your house, to your spouse, to your maid, to the shopkeeper. Of course, respect has brought in a new norm, respecting the health workers. You have seen the numerous videos that are coming out on how you're respecting the health workers, the policeman, the other support system that is now working during the time of the pandemic. It was also wonderful to see the many videos that were coming out from the different countries in the world on how they have been respecting the health workers and people who have actually stood to support in this pandemic. So, when you come to an organization, when you come to a community, it is respect to your colleagues, to your fellow associate, to your fellow volunteer, respect to your customer, respect to your vendor, to the supplier. That is one area where many times we forget. We always think that we pay them, so they are not to be considered within the ambit of respect. And what is respect? The respect, the provision to be heard of, to vocalize one's thoughts, to provide the space for oneself, the respect to the fellow person that you provide. Of course, last but not the least, the respect to oneself. So what's the link between respect, empowerment, today's theme of each is equal? There was a time when societal norms had clouded our interpretation of respect. If it was white versus black, man versus women, always the dominating fashions interpreted in their own way what is respect. Times are changing. I am always very hopeful of the younger generation, where at times I think they realize the aspect of respect in a much broader way, though they don't call it respect per se. Without respect, where does equality come in from? Where does empowerment come in? This character or this ethical parameter cannot be vocalized beyond an extent. It can only be lived and shown, as I was mentioning earlier. As we say, leaders need to walk the talk. I perceive it's every individual's responsibility to walk the talk of being respectful, to show how to live a life of giving respect to oneself and others. In your house, when you respect your wife, you empower her to think and voice her own thoughts. When you respect your daughter, you show your son that she is an equal in this house. When in a team of colleagues, you respect the concepts and thoughts of your fellow female colleagues or your fellow colleagues, when you give them a space to be at the table, you empower them. Many times, we, especially women, we tend to forget to respect our space, our time, our thoughts, our strengths because of a condition. And this leads to a kind of diffidence, thinking that always, am I right Am I right in saying this? Am I right in thinking this? Am I right in doing this? We are conditioned. The moment we start respecting ourselves, we are empowered. The more we are empowered, we respect other women. We stand together and we give. As we become confident, respectful of our thoughts, we speak for others. We strive to stand up for others. We cannot just be a watching person or just a spectator for something disrespectful that happens in society. So we strive to stand up, to speak up, to say as one force that this cannot be sustained. No longer meek and watching as a spectator, we rise to speak up, protect and prevent atrocities. Once we start respecting and boldly advocating our thoughts, no force can stop us from achieving our goals and also realizing our full potential. I am 100% sure about that. Every opportunity that could be taken up, that comes our way, will be taken up by us, of course, with informed risks in an informed decision-making pattern. So, my closing thought today would be to wish all my fellow women professionals to be bold and strive ahead with respect for our thoughts and abilities as for our fellow travelers. This will definitely lead each is equal. And this applies to my all fellow professionals, male also in this, whoever is watching, to be respectful of oneself and each other and strive towards empowering the community or the space you are working in. So thank you once again, Dr. Geeta and the organizing team for this opportunity to share a few thought to you all. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful year, and let us strive not to think about empowerment and respect on one day, but all through the year, and we come out as a big force. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your insights. And now, coming to the results for the competitions held in celebration of IWD 2020.
I am very happy to announce the results of the competitions held as part of International Women's Day celebrations 2020. We had competitions in two areas. One is Pen Power, the individual essay writing competition, and the second was Pitch Perfect, the group song competition. Let me announce the results of the essay writing competition Pen Power. First, the Hindi essay competition. First prize goes to Ms. Mahalakshmi Vijay of PSCG PCM entity. The second prize is won by Ms. Soni Mohan, SISD IISU, and the third prize goes to C. Prem Prakash, ISMD IISU. In the English section, the first prize is won by Ms. H. Ankita Mahantesh of STS. Second prize goes to Ms. Rinu Chako, SIS IISU, and the third prize is won by Ms. Ranjani K, FCG AVN. In the Malayalam essay writing competition, the first prize goes to Sri Mujib S of Establishment Vssc. Second prize goes to Ms. Lane Gladys CH of CMG, and the third prize goes to Ms. Joja GJ of Center Accounts. In the Pitch Perfect group song competition, the first prize is won by the CMSC team comprising of Rohini S. Warrior, Veena V. Nair, Anjana PS, Sarita SN, Shobha PS, and Ashwati MB. The second prize is won by the ABN team comprising of Kalyani Vishnu of FCD, Ranjani K of FSD, Jemmy Rachel George of FCD, Seena John of FCD, and Priya P. BSCD. The third prize goes to the team from STS, GSLV, and SSLV. The members are K.R. Mathvi of STS, Uma L of STS, Indra Anandan STS, Mercy AV GSLV project, Shahjahan M of SSLV project, Preeta C STS, Sainamol B STS, and Deepa Espai STS. Congratulations to all the winners. Have a very nice day.
Srimati Rani Radhakrishnan, the convener of the organizing committee for IWD 2020, has been running from pillar to post to ensure that this function is a success. I now request ma'am to kindly extend the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, we are grateful to our director, Sri S. Somnath, for his encouragement, guidance, and support in realizing this event and for the presidential address. I thank our special guest, Srimati Mariam Mammon Matthew, Chief Executive Officer, Manorama Online, who has found time to grace this event and for sharing her views on equality of women in the emerging world. I would also like to thank Srimati Sharada Jayakrishnan, Chairperson IEEE Kerala section, for her inspiring speech. I thank Dr. Sam Dayal Dev, Director IISU, for his unyielding support in organizing this event. I thank our Associate Directors, Sri Roy M. Cherian and Dr. Sharchandra Sharma, for their felicitations. I take this opportunity to thank Chief Controller Dr. Biju Jacob and Dr. Radhika Ramachandran, Director SPL, for their felicitations. Dr. S. Geeta, Chairperson of the Organizing Committee, thank you ma'am for your leadership in every aspect of organizing this program. I owe a special gratitude to members of the Organizing Committee, Subcommittee and Network Committee who have been toiling hard to ensure that this occasion becomes a memorable event. Special thanks to TTDG members and Srimati Jishi Samuel for the excellent documentary on Women's Day. I thank all who have donated blood to SCT and RCC in the current situation where it is very much valuable. I thank all the participants and the people who have helped to host this program on digital platform in the wake of the COVID epidemic. Thank you, Angida, for the nice and smooth comparing. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are all responsible for our own thoughts and actions every single day. In keeping with the theme of International Women's Day 2020, let us take home the message of striving to achieve gender equality. Because after all, an equal world is an enabled world. With this, we come to an end of today's function. Thank you all. Jai Hind.